Welcome to Random Talk. Yes, we made it. We are here and we are ready for some discussions. I don't know about you, but at least I am. Now, if you have been keeping up with what I have been dishing out, you would know that Samson Sanda is the person that we are going to see from, hear from, and know about today. Now, in episode 20, Building Work Skills, Samson Sanda gave us some content for us to be able to see what it is like for the students in Niger State, Nigeria, who are not able to go to school to receive an education. Now, today, I put a little twist on some things. Even though it seems that we keep talking about the education in Niger State, Nigeria, I just want to shift it over a little bit for you to understand how the work status goes, not just for the men, but for the women. Now, I have several pieces of content that Samson has shared with me, some that brought me to tears because I'm just so inspired by it, but then also I'm so broken by it because I look at what the people over on his side are going through, and then I look at what the people on this side are complaining about, and I'm just like, the world is just not fair. So we can't have it all, but today with the content that Samson has given us to watch, you will be able to see exactly what I mean. Now, I'm not going to compile all of his content in one video, one random talk, because that would not give it justice. I want this to be a discussion. So before we get into the content that Samson has sent, and I promise you I won't hold you long, but I want you to think about this. For the people that live in the United States, you are aware of this. And again, like I spoke on in the previous episode of Random Talk, I was explaining that each state within the United States is different. The reason I emphasize on state is because if there is anyone in Africa who is watching this random talk, I need them to understand the difference because it's a little confusing. Now, within the continent of Africa, they are considered to have their countries. Like South Africa is a country, Nigeria is a country. I'm not talking to you like you're stupid. Everybody doesn't know everything, and that is the purpose. We learn together in Novelty Woman Speaks. So they have countries and we have states. So when you hear me emphasize on state, it is because I know that sometimes people in Africa get it confused that we have individual states here in the United States, because even though the United States is a country, we are divided into states. And even though Africa is a continent and some people refer to it as a country, because to me, I'm not a person that can determine it, but it just feels like it's a whole country, but they are divided into countries. So that's my purpose. That's my point for that piece of information. Blame it on the educator in me. But within the United States, we have very different rules and regulations because it determines on the laws and the bylaws of each state. I'm sorry, but here in the state that I live in, you have different work skills, right? So I know that women, and today is just about the women work skills because we have programs for women. If you have children and you can't afford to send your child to school, you have the option to apply for childcare. And I know the American women will say, well, it's hard, it's a waiting list. My point is that you have the option. There is an option, but they don't have that option in Niger State, Nigeria. And then pretty much in Nigeria, that's not an option to have childcare assistance. Then you also have over here in the United States, if you are a woman and you are a single mother, and possibly you could be married, it depends on your income, you can receive assistance that way where you receive like supplemental checks that can help support you. You also have the ability to go to the unemployment office, look for work. I'm just giving you all the details of what we have on this side. But on the side of Niger State, Nigeria, what you are going to see today is a woman who had a hard time because she had a baby and her husband just left. He left and he did not come back. And so she had to figure out what to do. She became where it got to the point days went by, weeks went by, and she did not have food to feed the children, the baby, the infant. When I say baby, I mean baby. And so she had to leave and strike out on her own to try to survive. So can you imagine as a mother, as a woman, and having a baby? Your body hasn't even had time to adjust and get back to itself, but you have to leave on foot You have no money in your pocket. You are hiding in the bushes. This is not exaggeration. You have the baby on your back and you're having to leave to go find work. Now, what bothers me about this is because I know American women, and I know they might come for me, but it is the truth. And I told you people don't like me because I speak truth. But I know American women that will not get up and go to work, but they will say, I have a baby, I can't go to work. I know things are hard, but where there's a will, there's a way. And the reason I say if there's a will, there's a way is because sometimes I know people can get so caught up into what they want to complain about and they lose sight of what they should be fortunate for. You should be grateful. You should be thankful, even though it may not be easy. Now, it's nothing about what I am telling you. Like, I understand that we are in two different parts of the world, but when you see this content and when you understand the background, you have women that won't even take out the trash, some of them on this side, because they feel that it's a man's responsibility. But then in this content that you will see today and further down the line, you're going to see women doing what I would not mind doing myself, because if I need to get it done, I will do it. It's nothing about me to say that I'm too ladylike to do anything. And I'm saying that because I know women personally. I know women that I have been passing by. So I just want you to take it to heart what you see. I want you to understand what you are seeing, and I want you to process it, because over here in the United States, nothing is perfect. And I know that we, as the people that look like me and the skin color, we are very much discriminated on. But we still have options, and we still have the ability to try and do better, but oftentimes we do not. And I don't think that that is acceptable. I feel like you need to find the drive within you, and I'm not telling you to do anything that I would not do myself, because again, I told you in a previous episode, know who you are. I have worked my way from the bottom to the top in every situation I have been in. So hard work is not something that I deny myself of. So if you have the options to go and use resources that we have in the United States, say thank you every time. They may not be hard. They may be hard to get. They may be hard to be approved. You might not even know where to find the resource, but you have the ability. That is the point of doing this, sharing the spotlight, to help you to understand the differences of what is happening on their side in Nigeria and in Africa in general, and then on this side. So I just want you to know that you have options. They do not. And you're about to see this content. Take a listen with your heart, with your mind, and with your soul. Take a look. And viewers, I want you to know that Samson was there. He was the person recording this content. I want you to see and feel what I felt. This woman is an inspiration. So for anyone that is feeling like you cannot get up and make things happen, you can be a man, you can be a woman, you can be young, you can be old. There should be no reason for complaining. You just do what you have to do, and you do not allow people to make you feel less than because of the work that you choose to do. All honest work is respectful work. This woman is to be admired, and she can be a role model to so many who want to give up. watching that content, how did you feel? What did you take from it? Do you feel like, oh, okay, I might need to do a little less complaining on my side? Because over here, we can apply for maternity leave, right? On your job. You can get maternity leave when you need to leave your job as a woman, if you have that type of job. Even if you don't have that type of job, you have the access to just leave your job if you want to. If, let's say, you were to be in a relationship and the father were to leave you, and you can find him. They can put the information in the system, track him down, and put him on child support. You can file for a divorce and get alimony. It is not that simple. It is not that easy in Africa, and that is what I am trying to get you to understand in this content. I know sometimes people feel like I'm going hard on Americans. It is not that, because I am born and raised in America, but I also know that I get tired. When I say it drains my spirit to watch people complain. And Americans, and I can be guilty of this to a certain extent, we complain. We take things for granted. And that is the purpose for sharing the spotlight with Nigeria. And prayerfully, I will be able to share the spotlight with Ghana and Gambia. That's my goal. That's the purpose. It's always been my mission to be able to help us to see far beyond where we are. So maybe you will stop thinking that you just have it the worst, because I know personally it is hard. I chose to be homeless as a teenager, but I could not imagine still to this day being homeless with a baby on my back, with an infant, still having breast milk in my breast, to be able to have to go and do the work that this woman was doing, and thinking that you're going to have support from your spouse and he just disappears and leaves you, and you're having to track through villages. Now, mind you, when they go walking on foot, it is a huge crime rate in Africa, especially in Nigeria. When you're going through the motions at night, you're hiding in a bush with a baby, with no money, having to beg and hope that someone will feed you for that day. And let me tell you, what I have seen with my own eyes is that people in Nigeria can be hungry, or they can just be somewhere walking and people will share their food with each other. They will help the next person. It may not be a huge sum, but they will offer something to the next person. They do not mind sharing. It is truthfully brotherhood, sisterhood. And that is what I want you to understand. So if you are here in the United States, be grateful, be thankful. And if you want things to change, join together to make a change. Do your piece of trying to make a change, but don't just sit and complain. That is not accepted. I cannot stand when people complain, and not try to make something work, not try to figure out a solution. So I hope today's content was helpful for you. I hope that it educated you, and I hope that it helped you to humble yourself just a little bit more, so that way when you want to complain about something, when you want to say, I'm not gonna go look for no job, I'm tired, I got kids, you think about this lady who has to go struggle to look for work to be able to feed her family, who has to struggle to support a family and doing it on foot, not having to leave her home and go to different villages with no money in her pocket. That's all today I wanted you to know. I get a little sad when I think about it, because it's so disappointing that we cannot learn to be grateful for what we have. And if you don't like where you are, figure out what you're gonna do next to make it better. So until next time, I want you to keep people in Nigeria in your prayers, because there's a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes that you don't know about. And if you want to know about it, educate yourself on it by looking it up. But also, if you want to know about it, stay tuned to Random Talk, because I have more episodes to come about Niger State, Nigeria. Thank you for always tuning in. Thank you for your support. And remember to love yourself as much as you deserve to be loved. Mwah.